we've done our 45. We went to CrossFit. Then we hired a coach because our back was fucked. Moving strength, general strength. Like your goal was obviously not squat, bench, deadlift. It was just like, I don't want to be in pain anymore.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
But I wanted to keep those movements in because I enjoyed them.
When you say those movements, all barbell, like the Olympic moves and stuff as well, or at that point when you were like, no, just like the powerlifting ones?
No, I initially wanted to do all of like the Olympic lifts as well because I was really enjoying those.
Yeah.
But
thank God you still don't.
My coach at the time was just like, no, like she was just like, we can do your squat, we'll do your deadlift, because she was a big believer in like.
Say her name was Danny.
Yeah.
Shout out Danny.
Yeah, good job.
Because I don't want to teach them.
From Paddo. Danny owns Paddo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool. Yep.
So yeah, she was like, she is a strong believer in like everyone should be able to like deadlift and squat properly. Like again, kind of like you guys were saying with like the 1-to-1, you know, should have that baseline. And then we didn't do any Olympic lifting.
Yeah. Everyone, our philosophy is everyone, well mine, I don't know if Jason's is, everyone should be able to squat. Everyone should be able to deadlift. Everyone should be able to bench press. If you can't, I would argue whatever pathway you're trying to achieve is limited. But you don't have to.
Just the movement pattern.
Yeah, it just doesn't, but it doesn't have to be in your programs. Like you should be able to, like if I wanted to go back squat, I could spend 20 minutes and do it. I just need 20 minutes to warm up. But I can. And I think that's important. I think a lot of people cannot. Yeah, we'll put you on a safe spot. You'll be right.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I'll put my neck out just trying to put the bar on.
Yeah, that might be limiting your back and chest training.
It's pretty good.
It's fine.
Do you want to see my progress photos? Or it's pretty good.
Bigger than you. So what part where in the journey were you like, maybe I want to do some 1RMs?
Just as the pain started to fade and I was getting stronger, I was like, this is sick. I was like, I want to see what I can do.
Yep.
And Danny's main, like, she is an osteo, so she does a lot of rehab and strength and general strength training. And I kind of just wanted to be like, okay, well, I want to test this out. I want to get to that like next thing. I was like, oh, cool. I want to try powerlifting.
Yep.
So then I came to Sydney. I finished working with her. That was online.
Right.
And then came to Sydney, and then I was like, I really want an in-person coach because I've never done that before. And then I went with one of the guys there that specializes in strength training and has taken a few people to powerlifting comps. So I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was that?
Like his coaching?
Yeah, or just like the idea of going from like general to all of a sudden like these
specific.
3 lifts. I don't know about you, but like those 3 lifts became my identity very quickly.
Same. Yeah, literally same. I was like, yes. Yeah. I was like, well, this is all I do now. Like, the barbell rules my life. You know,
it is my life.
Yeah.
It is my life. Like my
barbell
self-worth,
up, happy Ben. Barbell down, not happy Ben.
Yeah. My self-worth is like based on how heavy those circles are. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's lift that bar.
Yeah.
Is that because you get you just get addicted to the progress?
Yes. And you just become...
Because I've never understood. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I have a bathroom Olympia every night.
Yeah.
And I'm the winner.
I think it's like that, but the variability is maybe a little different.
Yeah.
So like if you got hurt, like when you hurt your hip, you're like, this is going to undo so much of my physique progress.
Yeah.
This is challenging my bathroom Olympia and I'm unhappy about it.
Yeah.
When you miss a lift, it's almost like that. It's like everything's over. And if you get hurt, it's like my life has ended.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just thinking about a meme that I can't say because it has words in it that are politically incorrect, but get it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, at least for me, because I treated it like a sport, even like the mental rehearsals that went in, like the mental reps, like I'm talking that I knew what I was going to try and lift the next day. So I'd done that bench press 30 times before I got there.
Don't you think to be really awesome at something, that's what you have to do though?
100%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you think about all these high achievers and we talk about like imagery and visualization and stuff. Like they've taken that game-winning shot, that drive down the fairway, that, you know, the lift. They've taken that in their head so many times.
Visualization was very powerful for me in the last prep that we did. I don't
Yeah.
think we talked about it much, but I was doing that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was the same. Like, I was just obsessed with like looking at my week, and I'm like, okay, so like Monday I'm doing this, Tuesday I'm doing this, like I'm going for this number, I'm going for this number. And then in the sessions I'd watch like my old videos from last week, and I'd be like, cool, I've done that. And then I would visualize this one, and I'd just do it over and over and over. And I reckon that helps so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you miss and you've had that much prep for 8 seconds, it's fucking devastating.
Yeah.
The visualization stuff's wild. Like if you watch the V8 Supercar guys do it, the F1 guys do it, they just give them a steering wheel.
Yeah, and they're
like, drive Winton, drive
they get to
Bathurst.
say all the corners in their heads.
Yeah, and
like,
then it's
out
like,
loud.
this is fourth gear, I'm here.
Brake,
and like even the steering input's perfect. It's just...
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So you abided, your whole identity was squat, bench, and deadlift.
Yeah, I just thought it was the sickest thing ever.
Has that shifted?
It actually has.
Right now it has, for sure.
It actually has, though. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought it was so cool to like be this little blonde girl squatting 100 kilos. Like, I was like, that's just sick.
Yeah.
You know?
Fuck yeah.
And then same with deadlifts and same with bench. I was like, you know, bench was such a masculine lift, and I was like, I want to fucking bench more than the average guy. Like, I just want to fucking
Which you do.
get under that bar. And you know.
Do you think some of that is because weight training's so popular now? Remember back in the day, it was like, you know, females were like, I guess like they didn't do weights. Like my mum wouldn't have done heavy weights. Like she always had like 3 kilo dumbbells.
We were marketing get out of the cardio room.
Correct. And then you're on the other side. Like not on the other side. Like you're probably getting into fitness when it was a little bit more, but still like a bit apprehensive. So doing things like the squat, the bench, and deadlift, you're like, well, fuck yeah, look at me.
Yeah.
And look what I can do.
Yeah.
When historically, I've been told not to do this shit, and I'm proving, you know, the social narrative wrong here, right?
Yeah.
I think it was definitely partly that, but I was even saying to someone the other day, I was like, I just thought I was better than everyone.
Yeah.
I was like, all my friends that are not in the gym, like, I was just like, I'm fucking sick.
You got to kind of create that shit too, you know, we talk about, so we have this running joke, like even me and my boys, about how we just like make enemies with people in the gym that they have no idea about, just so that we can, so we can get in and do a good workout. So you just like, I'm a fucking outlift this dude. Like, and in your head, you're just like, and this guy's got no idea. He probably like, hey bro, how are you? I'm like, yeah, good.
The nicest guy
it's
ever.
Like, I just fucking took that personal, man. Like, so I feel like when you sit there and you're like, I'm doing things that other people can't do, and my friends are here, and I'm putting the work in and all that shit. Like, it's not like you're doing it in a way where you're just like, they're a piece of shit.
No.
But it's like you've got to create.
You got to elevate yourself somehow.
You've got to create this story so you can be the best person you can. You know, I feel like it helps as long as you don't actually verbalize to the person.
You
Like,
start go to lunch with your friends, and it's like, I'm better than all of them.
Imagine you walk up to that guy at the gym, be like, you know, I'm sick of your shit, and he's like, what? I haven't done anything. You're like, oh fuck.
We've never spoken.
M gets to brunch, and it's just like, so what do you squat again? I'm better than you.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I think there's and correct me if I'm wrong, there's not a lot of spaces that I would say women get to feel that level of like powerful.
Yeah, the gym makes me feel very powerful.
Yeah. I think like, for me personally, like the deadlift is my favorite lift because I'm good at it, obviously. But it's like, that is the most, for me, powerful thing. Because like under a squat, I'm like, I'm probably going to die, and I'm really bad at this. So I don't get hyped up about that. And then bench is like, oh, I was 2 mil off. I fucked it.
Yeah.
Whereas deadlift's just like, pick the fucking weight up and now put it down. And it's like, I've never had the level of emotion in any sport I've ever played or done or any pursuit that's stronger than a third deadlift.
Yeah.
Like walking off the platform having done it. It's just like it's like going fucking Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
Like that's the feeling. And it's like I've put also because there's time.
Yeah.
I only competed once a year. So like fuck this up. Wasted 12 months.
Yeah.
So I think there's not a lot of spaces that women in particular get to feel that feeling because they're probably discouraged from it.
Yeah, they have been historically, yeah.
So then if you can get under a barbell, you do it and 6 people walk up to you in the gym after you're feeling like that and fist bump you, you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, sounds pretty good.
I'm a god.
Goddess.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's cool. How was what are your memories of that first prep? What stands out to you as pros and cons, good, the bad?
First prep. It was a novice comp, and I really enjoyed it because it was the first time I've ever done anything like that. So it was very it was like a novelty. Like, it was just like, this is different. This is cool. But I noticed, like, from that comp to like the second one and the third one that I did with you, it was very different, just due to like you had different coaching styles and different programming styles and things. So yeah, I actually really enjoyed the first one. It was just like, I wasn't sore. I wasn't, you know, I was progressing, and like, I'm pretty sure, I think I missed my last bench, but I got like every lift, and yeah, it felt great.
Which you should.
And they're all PBs, all PBs, you know, so it was just a overall great time.
Yeah. And you like, first prep's like literally every time you step in the gym, you PB.
Yeah, because you don't know how strong you are yet.
Yeah. And it was just fun because it was like,
time.
I was like, you know, recording it, and I was like telling everyone about it, and I was like sharing my stories. So it was like good for business as well. And I was just like, it was just really, it was enjoyable.
I remember I had this client, we did one prep for like a lift off, I think. And then the second, like when we prepped for the next one, he was just like, I don't know if I want to do this, man. I'm like, what's up? And he's like, it's just really hard. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, my lifts aren't going up every week, and, you know, rah. And I'm like, he's like, it's just different to last time. I said, yeah, because last time I said you weren't training hard enough.
Yeah.
And I said respectfully, it's not your fault.
Yeah,
I said, you didn't know,
you
didn't know what you were capable of. And I'm like, and now you're training hard. So welcome to the game, brother.
Yeah.
And he just had this like light bulb moment in his head, just like, oh fuck, this is what it is. And then he was just like, nah, it's not for
fuck
me.
this sport. Fuck this sport. Yeah.
Like, I'll just go back to bodybuilding.
Yeah.
I think that was me in the last comp.
Yeah.
My third comp.
Yeah.
I was just over it.
You progressed everything. Yeah. You started to get strong.
It was a very, very good, like, I was training really well.
So there's like a few stages within powerlifting. So it's like the first block that you had with the first coach. It's like, I'm learning to strength train, and the barbell's part of that.
Yeah.
And this is really fun, and I'm like kind of figuring it out, and my skills progressing every week, and I'm learning competency, and that's all really rewarding. Then there's like the first prep, and I'm literally better every time I step foot in the gym.
Yeah.
Which is sick.
Yeah.
Then there's like the first couple of meets after that, some time, maybe like 6 to 12 months after that it's like, okay, this is what it's actually like. Like, we'll talk about it on next week's pod. Like, I just had Ben compete, and he put on, between the lift off and his first comp, he put 25 kilos on his squat alone.
Yeah.
It's like, hit a 35, 40 kilo PB at comp, and he was like, bro, this prep was so hard. Like, I'm like, you put on 15 kilos on your total. It's fucking great. He's like, I know, but I put 40 on it last time.
Yeah.
So there's that stage of like, progress is slow. It's earned. It's a bit more of a grind.
Yeah.
And that's where you start to, I think a lot of people do powerlifting for 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then after that, it gets so hyper specific.
Yeah.
And the path that you have to take is very specific to the person then. It's like if you're fuck off strong, it's like you're probably going to spend more of the year training like a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Because you're going to beat the shit out of yourself if you don't.
That's the third stage, is now you're strong.
Yeah.
Which is where you got
sounds
to.
Sounds like you're about to, or you're just
you got there, and it's like you're starting to get the like, my shoulders hurt. I'm fucking tired.
Yeah, my elbows, my wrists.
This is shit.
Yeah.
I was drained.
I don't want to go. I don't want to do this movement.
Yeah. It's like, you're strong now. That's,
I just didn't
welcome
want
to the party.
Yeah. It's just, I think like for me, the first one, I was still in that perfect technique area where it was like my deadlifts were like completely straight back, like, you know, all the things. And then coming into your coaching for the second comp, and you kind of taking me on last minute, you were then like trying to introduce like, oh, like do this with your shoulder blades and your back and like your bench and this, and the focus was on my bench. And we did get that. We did get the bench, like it just completely went up.
Yeah.
And then I was in that transition of like going from like a gem pop strength trainer to then like
a powerlifter.
Yeah. And then this one, I feel like I got it.
Yeah.
because we got the deadlifts, we got the bench,
Yeah.
and my squats are always fucking strong, and I
Yeah.
fucking love them. So I was just like flying and everything.
Yeah.
And it was really good, but I was just drained. Like mentally, I was just like, fuck this shit.
Yeah. What'd you total? Like low threes, mid threes?
3, what was it? 320?
Yeah.
317, 320?
Yeah. I feel like for women in that kind of 62, 67 class, unless you're a freak, like once you get over that 300, that's when you're like strong.
Yeah.
That's when like warm-ups matter, recovery matters, diet matters.
Yeah.
Like all those other compounding factors. And that's like when people are like, will you ever come back to powerlifting? And I'm like, to do it, I need 25 minutes before I get under a bar.
Yeah.
So that means my workout's 2 hours
Yeah.
minimum.
It's a big commitment.
So it's
That's
like,
what-
once you get to a level of strong, all the parameters change. And that's where it becomes, I don't just go to the gym and squat, bench, deadlift. Now I'm a powerlifter. And that's that 2-year window where people are like, I won't do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go find something else, which is fine. Like I did it. It
Yeah.
took me 5-6 years and I was like, I want to do this anymore.
Yeah. I was getting so sick of training just like for 2 hours, and I was like, I want to work on my business. I want to do other things.
Yeah.
And I'm in that period where I'm like building my business. So I was like,
Yeah.
I just wanted to get home and do work.
Yeah, you want the actual time and then the energy availability
Yeah.
Yeah.
as well, because you cook yourself on like some squats and
Yeah.
deads. Like like my leg day, like whatever happens
It's
after
over.
that is like just it has to be robot work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff I don't need a brain for because
Yeah.
I'm struggling.
Yeah.
So I think
So,
interesting to unpack. So you were 8 weeks out? Bit more. 10 weeks out.
About 10.
Yeah. Had a transition. All right, I need you to coach me to prep. Jason and I talk about it all the time. Do
Yeah.
you take the client on? Do you do it or not?
yeah,
Bodybuilding
Yeah.
obviously is
So-
way higher risk.
yeah.
Powerlifting, less high risk.
Well, it kind of is, but then it's kind of not because I'm like, well, whatever happens, like
It's on them.
I would just blame the other person.
Yeah,
It's
you
like,
were
hey,
shit.
You were soft on
Yeah.
on show day because of your other coach.
I did the best I could with what you gave me. Yeah,
It's
then when
like-
you have a full year, you're like, ah.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
me.
No, well, I guess the thing is after it, if you don't fucking show up, then you just
Yeah.
look like a fucking
Yeah, I remember we had
shit.
a run in with this coach one time, and he was like, "Yeah, well, your old client has PB'd in every comp." I'm like,
yeah. So
we
he
fucking should have, bro.
Yeah,
like
mate.
that's your job,
Isn't
man.
your job for them to progressively get better? Like,
Well done, you did the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,